Hello, almost over my cold. Here I am, 7 o'clock in the morning in this big recording studio. We are nearly finished building in this big old Swedish cow barn here in southern Sweden. This week I'm dealing with my big pile of synths and Casio keyboards, some of which are also synths. And I'm going to build some synth shelves in the control room. I've been tinkering with the design for a couple of days, but I'm pretty happy now. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm going to build it out of ash wood from a tree which fell down in our garden 2 years ago, and some recycled plywood and some perspex and some LEDs. Yeah, that's the ingredients. Okay, so please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's see how this goes. Right. I have dimensioned up a load of the ash. I'll just show you what my plan is. This is embarrassing. You'll have to kind of imagine this. So the blue bit are the sides. Here's another drawing. So it's going to be 3 slabs like that, and then inside will be shelves which can be adjustable depending on the angle that I want each synth to be. So this blue stuff here, those will be kind of windows with different colors of acrylic in. Underneath each shelf will be an LED strip which will shine down onto the synths, so you'll see them really clearly. But I'm hoping that the kind of the light that's thrown out the sides of this thing will cast very interesting patterns onto the wall either side. Maybe I should also do it in the top. I mean, I'm going to put stuff on the top, but maybe some light will sneak through. And I'm also looking forward to doing or trying to do stuff which isn't square, you know. So these little blue, can you see that? The little kind of dividers, I think it should all be kind of sloping down like the synths are, so it all has the same kind of movement, so it all feels like it's sloping down. I think it could look really cool. Yeah, I've cut 4 different sizes, 10 centimeter pieces, which are going to be the bottom and the top of each of these panels. Slightly thinner bits for the long sides. Slightly thinner again bits, which are going to be the kind of in between, like kind of angled bits. And then I have some very thin pieces, which is going to be the little kind of rabbited acrylic sheet holder kind of bits for the for in the little windows. I'm going to get on with this. I'm just going to plane up all of this wood and make it all the same, and then I will build these panels. Right. Okay, I've been playing around with this for a while, and I think I've settled on 2 dividers, so 3 windows. I figure that it's important that the short side, because you can see there's this angle, the short side each time needs to get bigger, as do the long sides. So I've just been trying to sort of balance it out so that it feels biggest at the bottom and most dramatic at the bottom. So the angle's sharper at the bottom, the window's bigger, and it just sort of works its way upwards. I'm currently feeling like that's the way to go. Okay, I think I figured this out. So I'm going to borrow Ferdy's Festool domino again for these ends, because they need to be really strong and everything's square and easy. I have a feeling that it's going to be quite tricky to get the domino on these little pieces. I mean, I could try it, but I'm leaning towards using biscuits for these middle bits, because biscuits it doesn't really matter this way. You can you get a bit of wiggle room. Although I know you can set this to have a bit of wiggle room too. I think using that. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll experiment. So either I'm going to just use dominoes, or I'm going to use a combination of dominoes and biscuits using my biscuit machine, whatever it's called, biscuit muncher. Okay, that was a bit of an adventure, but that's one done. And yeah, it looks cool, I think. So I'm going to have some lunch, make another couple, and then I'll get back to you. Sorry, I've jumped ahead a little bit. I've cut out the shelves. As usual, because of the slightly making it up as I go along nature of the stuff that I'm doing, yeah, there is a little bit of sort of an element of discovery going on right now. So basically at the bottom we have this shelf, which originally was going to be a steeper angle, but now that it's actually here, by the way, I've got it kind of jacked up off the ground at the finished height it's going to be on the wall, so I can just imagine myself playing on the synths here. It turns out that I think that the bottom shelf is better at a slightly more acute angle, which then gives us a bit more space above. I mean, obviously the synth has thickness, so it'll be raised off of this. But I think this is going to be just about right. Then the next shelf, if I line it up with this little angle thing here, I think again that kind of sits pretty nicely. I can even still reach it very comfortably to play it if I need to. It means that you'll see the synth through this little window, which will be nice. The top window is the kind of weird one, but I kind of figured out if I have a shelf that perfectly splits that window in half, once it's got a bit of oak edging on it, it doesn't look so bad. It looks kind of cool having this like little flash across this top window. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's a weird thing, but yeah, I'm a weird guy, so it figures. I'm pretty happy with this. I think, as with everything like this, as a friend once said to me, you should always build things twice because the first one will just be a prototype. And I think anything like this, where there's kind of complicated angles and stuff, I really should have mocked it up first. But I don't have that luxury or time, so I had to kind of wing it a little bit. But I'm pretty happy. I think it's kind of cool that the top window has a little like flash across it, and I like the sort of cascading nature of each shelf. I think it's going to look nice when it's got synths on it. Okay, so I now am going to put a lip on here. Oh yeah, these lift up. I did that. I put in just a little sort of pan-headed screw under there, like that. And this just sits on it. It's pretty crude, but I think once it's hanging on the wall, it will be all nice and solid. I did also go to the shop to see about getting some kind of white glaze for this thing. It was so expensive that I thought, you know, I'm just going to paint this white. I might try watering down the paint. But my original plan was that this bit here would be kind of just like glazed, like light, like white glaze, and then the shelves themselves would be painted white. I thought that would look pretty cool with the stained glass thing on the edges. But yeah, I think I'll experiment with that. Maybe that's a kind of nice little compromise. All right, so I'm going to make the lip and then experiment with some paint. Meanwhile, out here, possibly the most exciting thing ever to have happened in this place. We have steps. We are building a spiral staircase up to the mezzanine. So yeah, we had these all made at the local metal factory in the village. It took a lot of working, calculating, visualizing. Hopefully it's all going to go together quite simply. But yeah, this is what's going to be in next week's video, I think, because we're building two spiral staircases, one in here and one in the studio. So yeah, this is actually a pretty momentous thing for this place. This is kind of the last big construction, really. That safety, maybe, yeah. Just as long as it doesn't slip at the other end. So do you maybe want to... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will just move it to... Yeah. Yeah. There you go. So huge. Fuck, man, it's enormous.
The 110.
I actually ended up setting up this guy, which I've had hanging around for about 3 years, and I finally connected it, and I've sprayed this thing because painting it was just taking forever. So I've given it a good coat of it's kind of white paint mixed with a bit of gold to make it slightly darker. It still just looks very white. So yeah, that took quite a long time, but it's pretty cool. This is definitely not the best spray booth ever. I think I shouldn't continue doing loads of spraying in here because it's just gonna make the floor very crappy. Anyway, so I will leave this to dry. Maybe I'll do another coat tomorrow. In the meantime though, even though the spiral staircases are for next week's video, Ferdy's already roaring ahead with putting up this first staircase. He's doing it on his own somehow. I don't quite know how. Well, I do know how. I'm lying. I know exactly how he's doing it, but it does seem pretty kind of incredible. Shame to put a railing on there. It just looks very kind of plant-like. But yeah, well, jumped ahead quite a lot. Yeah, it's all painted. Some little greenhouse polycarbonate pieces to go in the windows, which I think look cool. But I also have some pink transparent film on its way. So in the end, I will add some pink film to these windows, but I think it's not going to be here in time for this video. So yeah, the last thing I have to do now is basically put in the little beads to hold in the windows, and then I can hang it on the wall. Yeah, it looks good in white. It's kind of weird that I ended up just painting it white. I had other plans, but sometimes I'm still getting used to what you can get hold of in Sweden, and I'm still learning about how to do all of this stuff. I'm not sure I would have set out to paint it white in the first place, but that's what I ended up doing. I think it's going to look cool. Maybe I can rub it with some sort of slightly yellow wax to make it look a bit older or something. I don't know, we'll see. Be cool one day to do a course here, like find someone that's really good with wood finishes and that sort of decorative stuff. Actually, I used to know someone in England who did like film sets and stuff. Maybe she would be a good person. Right, okay, anyway, I'm gonna put these bits of beading in, and then I'm gonna hang this thing on the wall, even if it kills me. Okay, it's up on the wall. I need to chop out some of this black trim so that then it can screw in to the studs which are behind there. There you go. Okay, obviously this needs a bit of tinkering. That DX7 is quite scary. It's just resting on its rubber feet. So I will take the thumbnail, and then I'll probably take these all down, and then next week I will tinker a bit with keeping stuff up there. But yeah, pretty good. And once it's got LED lights in it and everything, and there's coloured light shining out the sides here, because these are going to be coloured. Maybe I didn't mention that already. I'm going to add some coloured film on top, so we will have some nice coloured wall artifacts. God, I'm just waffling. Okay, it has been a long and strange week, but yeah, there you go. That's my synth shelves. Thanks very much for watching until the end, and I will see you next week for more adventures, mainly with spiral staircases. By the end of next week, we should have 2 spiral staircases in. Maybe not totally finished, but nearly finished. Maybe not nearly finished, but started is what I mean to say. All right, until then, lots of love. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and look after each other. Goodbye.